Hey guys, what's going on? I'm going to start recording these updates every Monday until we either get back in school or we get to the exam, regardless of how it goes. But I'm going to go through kind of your assignment for this week, kind of some updates to the exam and other things. So here we go. First things first, I know most of you have heard by now, but your exam this year is going to consist of 45-minute DBQ completely online. You're going to have 45 minutes to write it and 5 minutes to upload it. So as we get closer to the exam, we'll talk more about that, how to approach it. I'll run through some tips, some outside information stuff and everything else. But really, it's just going to be a short and modified DBQ is what you guys are going to have. So this week, since we're kind of getting back into the swing of things, we're just going to do a little bit of a document analysis. We will put all this together before we get to the exam. We're not going to write any full DBQs or shortened DBQs until a couple of weeks before the exam because I don't want to burn you guys out on it. But that's what we're looking at. So if you go to the website, you can see I've added 3 new buttons. I've got your assignment for this week. I've got the modified DBQ rubric that you guys are going to use while you write this thing, and also some review videos by the topic. So first things first, let's go through what's going to change on the rubric and what you're expected to do. So if you click on that, the new rubric's going to come up. Some of the changes. First of all, there's going to be 5 documents instead of 7. And the rubric is changing from 7 points to 10 points for it. So they are giving you chances to earn additional points and all that kind of stuff. So don't take this to mean it's going to be easier, but there is more opportunity here if you do things correctly. So we're going to shorten things down. We're not going to do 5-section essays anymore. I'll go through it as we get closer to the exam. But here's pretty much what you're looking at. It's not much different. Like I said, just adding some points. Still got to do the thesis and context in the first section. There's still 1 point apiece, just like they were before, doing nothing different. The changes come with the evidence and the HIP components and everything else. One thing you will notice, the number of documents you have to use is going to change. So for the evidence, if you just get 2 documents correct as it goes, if you look right here, 2 documents, you get a point. Also, nothing different from before. If you use the documents in your argument to prove what you're talking about, just like we did all year, if you use 2 of those out of the 5 correctly, you get a point. And they've added an additional point for the 4 documents as well. So do nothing different when it comes to this claim, evidence, explanation, et cetera, et cetera. You're just going to have to do it very quickly. They've given you an additional point for 2 pieces of outside information, which we will kind of compile as we go throughout the next few weeks. So you get 1 point for an additional piece of outside evidence and an additional point on top of that if you do 2. Remember, it's got to tie into the point. You just can't name drop. You just can't say what something is. You have to use it to help your argument, which for the 40th time already is what we've done all year. Moving down to the next page with the HIP components. If you get 1 of them right with a purpose, point of view, or audience, remember, we're not worried about context or situation for this. We're focusing on those. You do it correctly to help your argument. You get a point. If you do 2 of them, so 2 HIP components, you can possibly get 2 points. And then we still have the unicorn point down here at the bottom, which we ain't worried about. If we write a good essay, it'll be what it'll be. So we're going to pick out some focus points as we go forward to try to get you guys as many points as possible. So if you got any questions on that, obviously we've got over a month to the exams. Those will all be answered before we get there. So as far as what you guys need to do this week, let me click back. I've got just a brief, description of your assignment. So we got to do a little content as we go through this. So if you look at it, there are some College Board videos. I have those linked, which I'll show you guys in a second. I don't really care where you get content from, but for this week, since this video is for WHAP, you guys need to focus on units 1, 2, and 3, which you should have already done. Just look over some stuff, try to make you a list of some very specific information that can be used and all that kind of stuff. And then they're going to work on document sets. We're not writing full essays yet, as you see. I'm going to ease back in on it. You're going to have 2 of them this week. I do have a timer on the my AP on AP Classroom. You got 2 hours to get the whole thing done. That's an hour a piece. I'm going to scale that down as we go forward. We're going in easy. Like I said, claims, evidence, thesis statement, type it in on AP Classroom. It'll need to be submitted by 12 p.m. on Friday. So do what you do on it. You guys know how to do this by now. Hopefully you haven't forgotten everything we did all year. So just do what you can. As far as the content goes, if I can click back here. All right, so the College Board is putting up review videos for every topic. They're 45 minutes apiece. There's content, there's skill practice. It's just basically replacing a full period lesson if we were back in school. For reasons that I'll explain later, they started for you guys with Unit 8 and 9. You don't have to worry about those. They're not on the exam. So if you scroll down and you get to Unit 1, right now they have 1.1, 1.3, and 1.2 online. Like I said, watch them if you want. I don't expect you guys to watch 10 hours of videos a week, but kind of cherry pick. If there's something you don't know about, feel free to watch it, take some notes on it, and start compiling a list. They are going live with these every day. So 2.1 to 2.3 will be handled today at 5 p.m., but they are archived. So watch them at your leisure or get it, wherever you got to, as I said. As far as the document sets go, for AP Classroom, all right, so I'm going to come up maybe. So you guys have 2 of them. Question 1, I've tried to pick ones, and there's not a lot. There's not a lot for units 1 and 2. I'm not going to lie, for 1, 2, and 3. So I kind of picked what I could. If you look at the prompt down here, it says evaluate the extent to which religious responses to wealth accumulation in Eurasia, yada, 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 differed from state responses. Basically, this is a comparative prompt. So as you're doing this and you do your thesis statement, you need to tell me, were they more similar? Were they more different? And then claim these things out and give me your groups. I want you guys to do all 7 documents while we're doing this. I will shorten it down to the 5 documents like the DBQ will be on the exam as we move forward. But because we're just practicing claims, evidence, and thesis this week, 7 documents is not, it doesn't matter how many documents are on there. So do them all, type it out. At the bottom, just make sure you label it for me with the document numbers beside the evidence. Just type claims, then tell me what your 2 to 3 claims are, and then write me a thesis statement. Don't overcomplicate it. We're getting back in the swing of things and all that. So that needs to be submitted by Friday at 12 p.m. And if you guys have any questions, obviously, let me know through Remind. And then on Thursday or Friday, as I said in the message this morning, we'll do a Zoom little 30-minute section or 30-minute session where I'll answer questions about anything and clarify and everything like that. So, take your time on this. You got 2 hours to do it, but, get it done when you can. I know a lot of you guys have a lot of stuff going on. So other than that, if you need anything, let me know. And good luck this week. Stay safe. And I will see you guys on Thursday or Friday.